it's official. Both Vice President Kamala Harris and Minnesota Governor Tim Walz have accepted their nominations. They have emerged as the Democratic ticket for the upcoming November election. But questions of stolen valor are still circulating. Walz and the campaign. And this story, it's not going away, John.
Yeah, and our next guest here is one of the 50 GOP veteran lawmakers to sign the letter condemning Walz for lying about his rank. For more on this, let's welcome in South Carolina Congressman William Timmons. Thank you so much for being here. The question is not if Walz served. We know that he has served for 24 years, but the stolen valor accusations surround the lies that he told when he said that he held weapons of war. And take a listen to this. This was when he was campaigning. Watch.
I spent 24 years in the National Guard, some of that full-time. I was an artilleryman. I deployed in support of Operation Enduring Freedom. I'm a retired command sergeant major. I spent 24 years in the Army National Guard. I spent 25 years in the Army, and I hunt. We can make sure that those weapons of war that I carried in war is the only place where those weapons are at.
So, Congressman, he briefly touched on his record in his speech here at the DNC, but why hasn't he come out and directly addressed this?
Well, he's probably embarrassed. I mean, when he was running for Congress, he didn't get caught. Nobody did the research necessary to look into his record and to hold him accountable. And now that he's the vice president nominee, I mean, it's bad. New York Times has fact-checked him as saying that he embellished and lied about his record. And, you know, when they're saying that that's the case, it's probably worse than even they're saying. So, again, I'm a captain in the South Carolina Air National Guard. I've been in the military for 6 years. Over those 6 years in the Guard, I've been on orders almost 300 days. And while I've been away from my family for 8 weeks at a time, 5 weeks at a time, and then 1 week in a month, and then 2 weeks a year generally, it is very different than deploying, than going to Afghanistan, going to Iraq. I mean, you know, I serve with people like Dan Crenshaw and Mike Walz and Mark Green, Brian Mast, Jim Baird. These men have sacrificed for our country. And I know that while I am in the military and I do serve, it is not the same. And so to embellish and to lie about your record is just wrong. And he needs to be held accountable.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I want to dive into that a little more. So you were a part of the 50 Republican lawmakers, all military veterans, who denounced Walz for lying about his rank and then dodging deployment. So we know that Walz served 24 years in the Army National Guard. But some background for our viewers here. He retired from his artillery battalion 2 months before it deployed to Iraq in 2005. Abandoning the 500 people under his command. And we've spoken with some guys in his battalion over these past few weeks. They've told us how his leaving affected them. They lost 3 people in Iraq. What kind of vice president would he be, knowing what his real record is?
I think it's even worse than that, because as the senior enlisted leader, he knows far in advance of the deployment. So he got out, he knew that they were deploying. He knew that he was going to have to go downrange and serve his country and be gone for, I think it was a 20-month deployment. So he chose to not serve. He chose to walk away from the soldiers that he was entrusted with. And, you know, that is inexcusable. And I mean, he continues to run away from his record. The manner in which he embellished his service over the last 10, 15 years, it really is disgraceful.
And he got out so that he could campaign and run for Congress as well. So he was self-serving in that way. But on the same ticket, we have Kamala Harris. And this marks 3 years since the botched Afghanistan withdrawal. And Harris takes credit for being the last one in the room to go ahead with that plan. So should Harris be taking more accountability for that botched withdrawal?
Weak leadership yields insecurity abroad. Joe Biden has been one of the weakest leaders we've had, and Kamala Harris is no different. Obviously, Walz is more of the same. So we need strong leadership. The world is safer when Donald Trump is in the White House. The world is safer when the United States is strong. Our enemies do not fear us. Our allies do not trust us. And it is because of the weakness in the White House. So that's on the ballot this November. And I think that it's going to be weighing heavy in the American people's minds.